Hello, this is Nancy Jo Lambert, and I'm the librarian over at Reedy High School, and I'm here today to talk a little bit about the 10 different books in the Read Woke reading challenge for Frisco ISD. So the first book, Stamped, challenges a social norm. Racism and white supremacy are deeply embedded in American history and current policies that impact education. In Stamped, Jason Reynolds and Dr. Ibram X. Kendi challenge us to look at our past with eyes wide open and fight for a more just future for Black people. This book tells the side of the oppressed. I Was Their American Dream, written and illustrated by Malika Garab, is a graphic memoir about being half Filipino, half Egyptian, and 100% American. After her parents' divorce, Garab spent her school years with her Filipino relatives in Cerritos, California, and summers with her family and with her father and his new family in Egypt. Charmingly unsophisticated illustrations, predominantly and appropriately colored in red, white, and blue, and Garab's authentic voice make her story personable and accessible. Dispersed throughout are unique interactives, including a bingo chart of microaggressions, a mini Zine tutorial, and a Tagalog flashcards. The next book provides information about a group that has been disenfranchised. The central themes in Take the Mic, Fictional Stories of Everyday Resistance, is a collection of short stories by a diverse and representative group of authors with courage, bravery, and a refusal to be silenced. Readers will find mirrors to their lived experiences in this relevant anthology. The next book seeks to challenge the status quo. Kira, the main character in Slay, is a Black girl who creates and maintains a multiplayer online role-playing game dedicated to Black culture. Her anonymity as the creator and her game come under attack in mainstream media after a player is murdered. The next book sheds light on an issue that many may not perceive as being an issue. The multi-talented author and poet Elizabeth Acevedo tackles family secrets, toxic masculinity, and socioeconomic differences with inclusive clarity and candor in Clap When You Land. Camino Rios lives in the Dominican Republic, and Yahira Rios lives in Morningside Heights, New York. Their lives collide when their dad dies in an airplane crash. The next book challenges a social norm. 17-year-old Black trans boy narrator Felix Love wants romance, but lacks self-understanding in Felix Ever After. No longer a girl, he thinks boy doesn't fit either. Felix's dad dead names him, and despite supporting his top surgery and hormone therapy, and he hates his mom for leaving when he was 10. Felix's self-image shatters when his pre-transition photos and name appear in a school gallery, followed by relentless transphobic texts. A trauma and drama-filled demi-boy story that's not for the faint of heart. The next book tells the side of the oppressed. Marva Sheridan, an African-American teen activist in the voting booth, is drawn to a young man she meets accidentally. She's passionate about politics and ecstatic to vote. It was not enough to anticipate voting for the first time. She's also worked to make sure that others did so as well. When she witnesses Duke Crenshaw, another teen, being turned away on Election Day, she springs into action. The two spend the day together as Duke attempts to work out his registration issues and get to his drumming gig. The next book provides information about a group that has been disenfranchised. Darius Kellner suffers from depression, bullying by high school jocks, and a father who seems to always be disappointed in him. Iranian on his mother's side and white American on his father's side, Darius never quite fits in. When Darius's grandfather becomes terminally ill, Darius, along with his parents and younger sister, travels to Iran for the first time in his life. Readers will yearn for the next chapter after reading Darius the Great is Not Okay. The next book seeks to challenge the status quo. In the fall of 2013, on a bus ride home, a young man sets another student on fire. In the 57 bus, readers will encounter a nonfiction story that is difficult to believe. The navigatable narrative text is outstanding and links the diversity of creed and the impact of impulsive actions to themes of tolerance and forgiveness. The next book sheds light on an issue that many may not perceive as being an issue. Sensitive, smart Frank Lee is under a lot of pressure. His Korean immigrant parents have toiled ceaselessly running a convenience store in a mostly Black and Latinx Southern California neighborhood for his children's futures. Frank's older sister fulfilled their parents' dreams, making it to Harvard, but when she married a Black man, she was disowned. So when Frank falls in love with a white classmate, he concocts a scheme with Joy, the daughter of Korean American family friends who secretly seeing a Chinese-American boy. Frank and Joy pretend to fall for each other while secretly sneaking around with their real dates. Frankly in Love is a deeply moving account of love in its many forms. If you have any questions about any of the books talked about today, please feel free to check with your campus librarian and they can give you more information. We look forward to you participating in the Read Woke Challenge.